Previously on T-Man 978.
Team! T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Right now we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 86. The Transformers, the movie, number 19, Dinobot Snarl, who is a leader class figure. He comes in the big box, which in this case is plastic free. There's this, there's that, and two things before we start. Number one, pardon the backdrop not being relevant to this actual character. I usually try to change it up to be at least somewhat relevant. But my next couple of reviews aren't going to be giant robots, so I don't feel like changing it. And the second thing I want to say is when this goes to the next scene, he's already going to be in dinosaur mode, which he's already shown as right there. Don't click off. I'm going to do both transformations, don't you worry. In my regular retail stuff that's easy to transform, I do the transformation both directions. When it's a third party transformation or something that's going to take over 5 minutes, that's when I do a whole separate video. But any old who, here is Snarl, or Dinobot Snarl, in his Stegosaurus mode right here. And I'm going to have to say, as far as the actual alt mode or the dinosaur mode, Grimlock and Slug are probably the best. But once we got to Sludge and Snarl, things aren't looking that great. I hope Swoop should be so easy and probably be a little bit smaller than these guys. So he should have more engineering into him to make him better. But here he is. One of the things I don't like, this tail is permanently, because of the way they decided to do the transformation, it is permanently down. So the legs are literally just touching the ground at this angle right here. So it has leg articulation that can do all this and do that. And it can go outward because of the shoulder articulation for the robot mode. It can bend backward at the knee right here. This ankle can go forward and back, which is awesome, and it rotates. But there's no need in the knees being able to bend. I mean, you could do this, but that tail is permanently touching the ground. This one can go out like that and rotate. It's a tight ball joint, and it does this and goes reverse. And the head, which is permanently like split, I've transformed this a couple times. I cannot get that to not be split. This is the best I can get it. Only thing I can think of is maybe putting some floor polish on the pegs and not touching it and then praying. But here is the mouth right here. That moves, and that's about that as far as articulation. The tail doesn't move, the waist doesn't rotate. I have this sword right here. I think in the cartoon he was probably mostly known for just having a sword, and I vaguely remember him just pointing it and shooting lasers out of it, which is kind of crazy. I mean, besides up there, you can store it on the leg if you want. That's a 5mm port that doesn't seem to be tight, to be honest. You can store it like that. And let's see about this hole right here. That's a little tight, but I was able to get it in there. But it looks silly. And there's like no real spot under here to store. None of these screw holes they're only vaguely 5mm, so I can get it to sit there, but it is loose as crap. So that's what you're working with when he's in dinosaur mode. Here's what we're working with so far when it comes to the other Studio Series 86 Dinobots. That's how big these guys are, or that Grimlock is next to him. Here is Slug. Right there. They're similar size. And here is Sludge. Moving the wrong guy out the way. But you can look at my individual reviews so you can hear what I have to say about them. Here's another G1 creature in alt mode right here. One of the Insecticons Kickback. He's a deluxe class, that's why he's significantly smaller. But here is a Voyager class vehicle right there. So you can see he's significantly bigger than a Voyager class vehicle. And here's just a Studio Series 86 Perceptor and robot mode standing next to him. All in all though, it's cool. It turns into a dinosaur robot just like G1. But my main problem is the tail hanging down and me not getting this face to be able to close together. Turns out I'm wrong about the sword storage. These two bumps right there goes into the back of this portion of the sword. So we can kind of hide the sword. He's one of the only other ones that have like a way to totally hide the weapon away. I mean, it's still visible depending on how you look at it, but looking at it full on like this, you don't see that unless you're really trying to see it. So that's cool. But anywho, transformation. That's why we're at this camera angle. I'm going to remove said sword, and we can push this up like that and push that up like that. And now we can open this up and open that up. Go ahead and kind of like lift this up right here. The center part move separately than these two side parts, but now we should be able to elongate this. His body stretches right there, and now we can open these two panels behind his head. They're separate because they're on two different legs, but get that up off the head. Now we should be able to I pull the feet up, rotate this, and start pushing the head down into there as we go along, and we can reshut that. We can split the legs apart, and at this point, you see that we can shift the leg over to push that inside the leg and get the lower legs further apart from each other. But back here, we can go ahead and take that off of that panel, rotate, and as we rotate, get that down like that and push it in like this. Shut that door. And we can go ahead and shut this door. Same deal. We're gonna bring that in, rotate it down, shut this door, and bring that in like that. If you have it correctly, these two panels, the one on the back of the leg we shut, and this should be able to move. But now we can rotate the waist around. And yeah, just make sure that this is actually clipped into place. There's a spot. Yeah, there we go. Upper body. I'm gonna rotate the feet backward on both sides, and we can go ahead and unpeg this right here and keep pushing this back until you feel a click. We can rotate this around, bring the hand out, and shove this into there like that until things click. Same deal over here. Lift this up, push this back until it clicks. Pull the hand forward and shove all of this inside of the arm. And now we can just bring the arms down. Back here, we can split the tail, grab this, and bring it back like this. Now this piece won't be attached when it's in the box. So basically, let's detach it. There's an opening part right there so it can wrap around the two pegs. You would basically push it in like that. But now, as far as the transformation though, we can bring this down and bring that, and it pegs in. Up here, you just basically, or before we do that, push your finger through to start the head. The head goes up. You can bring this down. And make sure that this is clipped in, because since it lifts up, clip that in, shove his body down, rotate the fist this way, and he's good to go. I'm going to activate his ankle pivot so that he can actually stand up with a wider stance. And here is Snarl in his robot mode. And Snarl is really cool. Like, when I first opened the box, this wasn't attached, so I was like, man, he has a big hole in his back. Like, what's up with that? But with that attached, he is mostly a fully cohesive robot. It's not too much waffling, as they say, besides maybe there where the mushroom peg attaches. But I'm not one of those anal people that go around hunting for it. Like, it has to be really, really prominent for me to be bothered. But let's look at his face. Super cartoon accurate. It's funny that this guy got a figure out before Swoop, when he wasn't really in the movie. I think he was in the movie, but it was like blink and you miss. Like, he was never prominent when they showed the Dinobots. It didn't have any speaking lines, but that is a good face sculpt. It goes around. There's a hole back there. There's no screw, so I don't know whether that hole is there for the ball joint's sake or what. But he has a bunch of detail. Let me back up. He's cool. He's very similar to the other Studio Series Dinobots. And I like that they even put this detail in there and painted it. The sword can store back here on his back if you like. Or you can, of course, put it in his hand. But articulation, these wings can move a little bit, with the tail that sort of look like wings. The head can rotate. The head is on a ball joint. He can't really look down much, but he can look up a little bit. And if you use the transformation hinge, you can look up even more, but the head is getting sunk into the body. Now, one thing I don't like, no matter how hard I push that, it doesn't feel like it's like tabbed in place. So it's just freely moving, and you can see that detail right there. But let's zoom back out. Arm goes up more than 90 degrees, rotates on like, I don't want to call that a ratchet really, but it does have several stopping points. So the arm will not be falling down. You get a bicep swivel, the elbow bends. Let's do this one. More than 90 degrees, as you can see. And if you break the transformation, it really bends more than 90 degrees, and he's double jointed. The wrist rotates, which is good. The waist rotates. The legs kick all the way back, all the way forward more than 90. They go out to the side, 90. Thigh swivel. Knees are on what seems like a proper ratchet, and they bend 90 degrees. And you get this ankle pivot, but unfortunately it splits the leg. There's no type of detail in there to make it look like he has a cohesive foot. The toe can technically go down, but that doesn't really add anything to the posability. But overall, as far as a simple G1 style Dinobot, he's really good. And my thumbnail might probably look like this or something anyway, since all he has is this freaking sword. Let's see something. the wrist can rock down a little bit. If you untransform them, you can get the wrist to hinge out like that for forward thrusting motions, or if he puts his arm up, he can hold his sword aloft and declare that he has the power. And let's show that again with the dino foot in there. He can still hold his hand up like that. It looks kind of weird, but he's a robot. Get off his back. And here is this group shot right here without Swoop, since he doesn't exist right now. But he exists somewhere, but not out in stores. So far it seems like Grimlock is the tallest out of all of these. I think Slug and Snarl are, let's see. Snarl is a little bit, looking at them in camera, they look the same height, but Snarl looks a little bit taller. Sludge, let's get his wing out of the way. Sludge is a little bit taller. And let's do Grimlock. See, looking at them through the camera, they look the same height, but Grimlock is a little bit taller. Here are a couple of Studio Series 86 Deluxes and a Voyager class Junkion. And here's Ratchet. He is a Voyager class, but yeah, I don't know. I think they should have found a way to make him and Ironhide at least as tall as Perceptor. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, in order to get that alt mode right. Alright, in robot mode, I like this guy more. And he looks like the G1 cartoon, basically. And the G1 toys, because they didn't stray far from the toy design when they made these guys. So that's a good thing when it comes to accuracy. And he does have like little extra details like this right there on the toy. That was probably a sticker. But he doesn't have any other mechanical details because they were pretty much clean. I mean, I doubt that they had all this on the cartoon, but they felt the need to put extra detail on these actual action figures. So that's cool. Where it has paint, it looks good, like on the shoulders and the face. And yeah, it looks good. I like it. And the articulation is definitely on par for what I would like. It could have been more, like they could have figured out how to do an ab crunch and whatnot. They could have given him an actual neck so it can actually look up. And maybe found a way to make the ankles rock back and forth, but that would have made him even more money, I guess. Any old who, reverse transformation back to alt mode, like I promised. Take that out the hand, and I'm gonna just start with the hand. I'm gonna rotate it so that the back of the palm is right there. Do that on both sides. Pull out this leg that's in his arm and rotate the foot. And we can go ahead and rotate the hand up in there. So now this little peg right there needs to go into that peg hole. So we need to pull out that joint that tabs together, bring that forward, and get that up into that hole right there. So now we basically have one leg done, and I'm gonna keep it out like that. Same deal over here. Bring this down, rotate the foot around, push the hand inside, and go ahead and pop that and get this up here like that. I'm gonna leave that up like this, even though it's gonna have to change really. Now we can undo the back by pulling this away and lifting this up like that. I'm gonna go ahead and push his head in, and we can go ahead and shut the tail together. Now we can lift up on this to have a little gap there, elongate the body, rotate the waist, and we can at this point bring the arms back like this, and I'm gonna leave this dangling. Down here, we can rotate this panel out, move this leg up like that, and keep moving it until it tabs in right there. Bring the foot down. Open this up, rotate this up, bring this down, and bring the foot down. Keep this shut. Bring the toes back. Now the legs, we can shift. Which direction? I keep forgetting. No, we need to shift this way so that that little divot will be in the inside. So shift it that way. And now we can go ahead and tab the legs together. Make sure that these are open. Rotate this to about in there. Lift up on these two panels so that when we start getting this shut even more, the head starts coming forward and we can go ahead and grab the head and bring that out. Now shift this all the way up. Close that together, pinch everything, bring this down, bring that down, peg these two together. Make sure that the feet go up under this. We can tab. Make sure that this stays shut. Tab this panel down into place. Come on, you. Anyway, I'm gonna push this in, and now this can tab into the back of the top of the foot. This can come up and come down and close that. We could bring these down and shut that. I don't know why. Let's do it separately because this is aggravating me. But basically, this clip needs to go into that portion down there. Make sure the head is absolutely out straight. I'll tab that one in. Now I'll tab this one. Or I can attempt to tab this one in. Good night, bruh. At the angle I had it on right here in front of me, I couldn't do it. But when I took it off camera and just pushed, it went down. And now the head is staying together a bit more. And like I said, you can make sure that this is attached. We can put this sword right there. I guess when he does come with a gun, because I'm pretty certain that Swoop is gonna come with all the weapons the other guys don't have. Like, these guys don't have their swords, so I'm pretty sure you'll be able to put a gun. Swoop is probably gonna come with guns, and we can put that there. If that doesn't happen, I will be tremendously shocked. But anyway, there it is. Thank you, Sony from TM Reviews, for finding this guy and giving him to me at a discount. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. No, yeah, it comes with this backdrop. He can't stay on there. It's going in the trash.
Figure action. That one's me. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click the